The Union Pacific North Line is a Metra line in the Chicago metropolitan area. It runs between Ogilvie Transportation Center and Waukegan, Illinois, with rush-hour trains continuing to Kenosha, Wisconsin. Although Metra owns the rolling stock, the trains are operated by the Union Pacific Railroad. This line was known as the Chicago&Amp Northwestern North Line until C&amp NW was absorbed by Union Pacific circa 1995. The current timetable has 35 weekday trains leaving Chicago, 17 of which terminate at Waukegan, 9 at Kenosha, 3 at Highland Park, 5 at Winnetka, 1 at North Chicago. History. The route followed by the Up-North Line was constructed in 1854 by the Chicago&Amp Milwaukee Railroad. Passenger service between Chicago and Waukegan commenced on January 4, 1855. Initially, a single train operated each day, departing from a terminal in Chicago at Water and Amp Kinsey Streets at 8:30 a.m. and returning from Waukegan at 3:30 p.m. The president of the railroad, a former Chicago mayor Walter S. Gurney, speculated on land in Lake County, spurring the development of railway suburbs along the line. The railroad merged with the Green Bay, Milwaukee and Amp Chicago Railroad in 1863, and was acquired by the Chicago and Northwestern Railway in 1866. Commuter rail services along the line started operating into the new Chicago and Northwestern Terminal in 1911, and became part of Metra when it was formed in 1984. The trains, though owned by Metra, continued to be operated by the Chicago and Northwestern Railway until that railroad was bought by UP in 1995. UP now operates passenger services along the line for Metra. All stations on the line except for Ravinia Park are open daily. Current and future. In 2010, Metra began a project to replace 22 bridges between Claiborne and Rogers Park, which are at the end of the design lives and in need of replacement. Metra's initial plan called for significantly reduced service for the duration of the project. Widespread frustration with this service pattern led to the project being delayed to investigate potential ways to keep existing service. Many people were angry that the original plan for the project would have centered the tracks in the existing right-of-way, preventing any possibility of rebuilding a third track without rebuilding the entire right-of-way or purchasing additional land. Metra claimed that in order to maintain existing service levels during construction, $100 million in additional funding would be needed. This funding was eventually procured, and in 2011, Metra began work on a modified plan that will allow pre-existing service levels to be maintained as the bridges are replaced. There have been ongoing plans to extend the line, possibly as far as Milwaukee, for many years. Wisconsin's now defunct Southeastern Regional Transit Authority had completed several studies of the project, but was disbanded in 2011. An application for funding under the FDA's New Starts program was submitted in 2010, and the agency received federal money for preliminary engineering and construction. In 2011, however, a new Wisconsin budget passed which disbanded CERTA. $15 million in federal funding was returned. The project has since received little attention and is generally considered dead. In late 2015, the Racine City Council unanimously approved a study to extend the line from its current terminus at Kenosha to Racine. Car 553 is a club car operating exclusively on the Up-North Line. It is not actually owned by the railroad, but by a private club of commuters. UP allows the operation at no charge, apart from collecting ticket fares from the club members, who are in charge of maintaining the rail car. Club membership was once limited to wealthy male commuters from affluent North Shore towns such as Lake Forest, Lake Bluff and Highland Park, but is now open to any commuter on the line for a $900 annual membership fee. It is the last privately owned railcar in American commuter service. Route: the southern terminus of the Up-North Line is at the Ogilvie Transportation Center in downtown Chicago. The route traverses Chicago's northern neighborhoods and its northern and far northern suburbs to Kenosha, Wisconsin. The Green Bay Trail paralleled the Union Pacific North Line, using the former right-of-way of the North Shore Line for over 51.9 miles from Chicago Loop to Kenosha, Wisconsin.